My name is James Ledden, and the product that I decided to design for this project is called the TextPad. The TextPad is the world's first tablet dedicating to giving students all of their textbook needs with zero distractions. The TextPad is a tablet that serves only one purpose. It is super simple and it has no other function than storing textbooks. You can't check emails, go online, text your friends, or play any type of phone game. The TextPad itself is a black tablet that is a little smaller than an iPad, but it is super slim to be able to fit in backpacks really easily and be able to be transported from home to school and school to home with ease. Popping up above my finger right now should be our company logo. We wanted to portray the theme of simpleness from our product to the logo, so that's why we went with a very bland styled logo, but we added the TP in just so customers know that this is our product. There's no confusion when seeing our logo wondering, is this TextPad's logo? We want to make it clear that this is our logo, but keep portraying that theme of simpleness. Now, before we really dive into all the different features that we offer with the TextPad, I just want to quickly talk about the concept behind the product and really the psychology and science behind the creation of the TextPad. So Cal Newport is an American author. He's written a bunch of books, but his book in particular that I want to focus on is titled Deep Work and was written in 2016. In Deep Work, Cal goes in depth about the psychology behind producing your best possible quality work. His main point that he makes in the book is that in order to produce your best possible work, you must have zero distractions. This state of zero distractions is called deep work. When your brain is focused on nothing but the task at hand, you will produce your best possible work. We as a company have sculpted our product around the idea of deep work. If a student is given a laptop with their emails, text messages, and social media sites all connected to it, those distractions will cause a decrease in the quality of their work and a decrease in the knowledge that they retain when they are reading the textbook. The TextPad is a tablet solely dedicated to a student's textbooks and has no other application on the device, which in return will eliminate any type of online distraction. Since we want to keep our product as simple as possible, we really only offer one supplemental feature as well as really only one symbolic feature. For the supplemental feature, we do offer an integrated Blackboard system within the TextPad. So Blackboard is integrated into the TextPads. Every morning, a student will get a notification on their TextPad that alerts them of any upcoming due date. So today is Tuesday. If I had a TextPad and woken up this morning, it would say Marketing 101, final project due tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. So it does a lot of the organizing for the student already. It just shows you what you have to do in the specific times and days that you have to get stuff in, so it does a lot of the organizing for you. Because we don't give access to the internet though, students will not be able to turn in any of their work through these tablets through Blackboard, so they'll be able to read everything they need to read through the textbooks, see what they have to do, but when it comes to actually handing in the work, they either got to do it on their computer or hand it in on paper. Again, because we said we want to keep our product as simple as possible, there's only one symbolic feature for the TextPad. For the individual students who do decide to purchase these TextPads, they will have the option to customize the color of the back. So like I said, the back of the TextPad is black, but if you do purchase it, you are able to change the color. People who rent are not going to be able to change the color. I will go more in depth about the purchasing and renting process later on in the presentation. Now, of course, there are a bunch of similar products to the TextPad, obviously the two main ones being online websites for textbooks and, of course, paper copy textbooks. I don't want to go too in-depth right now about our competition because I will explain how we will turn this competition later, this threat, into an opportunity that our company will thrive with. And really, our product is super cheap and it's extremely easy to set up and navigate through. And that is the ultimate need that we as a company are fulfilling. The need for an easy, inexpensive tablet that can load all your textbooks on with no stress. College students like easy things that are cheap and that do the work for them. So if you get a tablet that is cheap, that loads all your textbooks on you for you and tells you when your homework is, that is very appealing to a college student. And lastly, really, just for our perceptual map, we asked college students around the ages of 18 to 22 what they prefer, online or paper textbooks, and which one of those options they would be willing to spend more money on. Most of the students did say they preferred online textbooks. All of them said they prefer to spend less money on textbooks, but if they had to spend more money, it would be on the online textbooks. Now, before we dive into the opportunities and strengths that we as a company face, I want to talk about the weaknesses and the threats. So obviously, in the world of business and marketing, there are always going to be threats that we as a company must face to overcome. The number one threat that the TextPad faces is the already existing online textbook websites such as McGraw-Hill and Connect. These websites have been providing students with online purchasable and rentable textbooks for years. I myself have had to use these websites, and they are extremely confusing. Two of the main problems I've encountered in dealing with these websites are the pricing and, of course, the disorganization. There's been times where it took me 10 plus minutes to even figure out where the textbook is after purchasing it, find the correct chapter to read, and even just logging on to the actual sites is very difficult sometimes. And this is where we as a company will turn the threat of these websites existing into an opportunity for our own company. When you sign up for a course on your school website, the schools that we are partnered with will automatically add the price of your textbook into the price of the course. Once you finish your payments, you can log onto your TextPad and your textbooks will be instantly loaded and installed onto your device. Like I said earlier, the TextPad prides itself on being the only tablet to have nothing but the textbooks downloaded onto it. This will increase productivity as well as eliminate any of the disorganization problems that you face when using websites such as McGraw-Hill. As well as facing threats, there is also some weaknesses with our product that we do need to address and fix. The first weakness is that unlike a hard copy textbook, the TextPad has to be charged every night so the battery does not die. I, as a fellow student, am aware that with everything on a student's mind, remembering every night to plug in your tablet may be difficult. Some students forget to plug in their phones at night, so plugging in a tablet, which just has textbooks on it, is definitely going to slip someone's mind at some point. To counter this problem, when first setting up your tablet, you must choose a 2-hour time frame, the time it takes for the tablet to be fully charged, which will be the set time for you to charge your device every single day. For example, say you choose a time slot of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to charge your device. At 7:30, obviously, which is 30 minutes before your time slot, an alarm will alert you every 10 minutes leading up to your time slot to let you know it's time to charge your device. So at 7:30, 7:40, 7:50, and of course 8 o'clock, you will get an alarm telling you it is time to charge your TextPad. This alarm system will ensure that students will always remember to charge their TextPad before they go to bed. Another weakness that we will face is a lack of supplies when creating the actual product. COVID-19 has made computer parts such as motherboards, GPUs, and batteries extremely expensive. Instead of emptying our pockets on expensive high-end computer parts, we use recycled old parts from older generation iPads. The reason we are able to do so is because our device only contains textbooks. So super high-end parts are not necessary because our devices are super easy to run. Now that we have covered weaknesses and threats that the TextPad faces, I will now explain the market opportunities and strengths of our device. COVID-19, like I said before, has changed the world as we all know it tremendously. Businesses both in person and online have had to change and adapt to the ever so changing environment. Some businesses have been forced to shut down, while others have prospered immensely. Luckily for us, the COVID-19 world has brought us many opportunities. The first and most obvious is that since COVID has began, school has been moved to virtual learning. Classes are held directly online with students participating from the comfort of their own home. Most schools' bookstores were not open during this time, so hard copy textbooks were out of the equation. Introducing the TextPad during this time was extremely successful because, as stated earlier, our TextPads are cheaper and more organized than the online textbooks. Now that as a society we are all aware of how quickly the world can change, schools should be more prepared for situations like this in the future. Teaming up and partnering with schools right now will lock us in for a studious and successful future. With all that being said, as a company, we are aware that we cannot rely on virtual learning as a whole to promote our product. Virtual learning was not the only opportunity that we were faced with. Because of COVID-19, simple materials such as paper have been extremely hard to import. Even when successfully importing these items, the prices have skyrocketed. Because of this situation, prices of hard copy textbooks have increased immensely. Because we use recycled iPad parts for our devices, we can greatly capitalize on this. There is a huge lack of inventory for other textbook companies, which is not a problem we have to endure. So because of this, customers will be drawn to the TextPad because of the low prices and the surplus of devices available. And lastly, when ordering hard copy textbooks from your school's bookstore, there is a wait time. In my past experience, I usually have to wait about 3 days to get my textbook after ordering it. Many teachers don't even tell you what book to get until the first day of class, and this can cause students to fall behind on the material and creates a lot of unnecessary stress. If you were to purchase a TextPad, none of those problems would occur. Your textbook is already downloaded onto the device just seconds after completing your payments. Falling behind in classes will pretty much be impossible as long as you have a TextPad, and if you do fall behind in class with a TextPad, it is probably your fault. Now that we've gone over all of the strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats that we face as a company, I want to dive into the strategic planning and the price process of making our product. More specifically, I want to start by talking about our market research. So unfortunately for us, textbook sale numbers per year were not recorded, but something extremely important caught my eye when I was reading about how much money companies who produce these textbooks make. So according to UCLA.com or .edu, on average, companies who sell textbooks make an average profit of 42.6%. Basically what that means is textbooks are extremely overpriced, both digitally and hard copy. While reading that same article, we found that on average, students spend around $120 to purchase one textbook, and many times students will sell the textbook back to the company after they use it to gain some money back. I myself went into the Nassau Community College bookstore last week to look at the textbook prices, and they all ranged about $30 from that 120 number. So everything was around $85 to $150 for the hard copy textbooks. Now, with all this information, we decided to, of course, set our target market to college students ranging in the ages from 17 to 22 years old. High school students do use textbooks, but from past experiences, they don't need to purchase the textbooks. They are supplied by the school and kept in classrooms. College students, on the other hand, of course, obviously do need textbooks, but they're not looking to spend a lot of money, and they're looking for the easiest possible option. With all of that said, we decided to group our target market into two segments: students who can afford to pay for their textbooks, and then the students who cannot. If a student cannot afford a textbook, we need to figure out how we are going to sell that to them, which is renting. When a college student is deciding which textbook to purchase via online or in person, there's two things that go through their mind. What is the cheapest and what is the easiest? Because you still do have to pay for the textbook with the TextPad, we knew we had to keep our product as cheap as possible while still, of course, gaining a profit. So, with that all being said, we charged the price at $45 for purchase and $25 for renting. The high price and high quality model would not work here. We wanted to sell our product at a cheap price for every college student to be able to afford. This strategy that we are using is called competitive pricing. We want to have the best prices on the market while also having the biggest quantity of supplies. After we were researching our costs of high-end computer parts and low-end computer parts, which obviously in our case is the iPad parts, I found that it would cost around $15 for us to produce each tablet. So on rentable tablets, we make about $10, and for students who purchase, we as the company make $30. When it comes to promoting our products, we will not promote on an international scale. Different countries use different textbooks. They're on a different curriculum. So right now, we are 100% focused on the United States of America's curriculum and their textbooks. And we will use the pull policy, which is when as the company promote directly to the consumer, who in this case is obviously the student. On top of this pull policy, since we are selling to college students as our target market, we will be utilizing advertisement, especially through social media. According to Google, over 98% of college students have social media. Users spend hours a day sifting through posts of their friends and favorite celebrities, and this is where we as a company will benefit immensely. We will run short, simple ads to portray our simple theme of our product, and we will focus on these advertisements the most in between semesters so students can discover our product before they purchase their upcoming textbooks. So in the summer, we will be extremely prominent with our ads. In the winter, we will be extremely prominent with our ads because we want students to buy the TextPad before they purchase their upcoming textbooks for the upcoming semester. Now, as well as social media advertisements, we will also be putting up flyers in schools that we are partnered with. We want to mainly obviously focus on putting these flyers in the bookstores, but we will also be spreading them throughout the campuses. And then also with these partner schools, we want to take out one page in their school newspaper where we can advertise our product. We want to keep all these ads as simple as we possibly can to keep consistent our theme of being simple. Our flyers and ads in school newspapers will be more informational, meaning that they will break down what the product is and how it works as concisely as possible. While the social media ads will still be simple, but less informative and more friendly and engaging so we can start building a community of loyal customers. Now, we will be selling these TextPads online through our website, and we will also be selling them in schools' bookstores that, of course, we are partnered with. For the tablets that we sell in the bookstore, we are going to position them next to or in the same section as the hard copy textbooks. This way, when students come to buy textbooks, they can see our tablet and obviously learn about it. When it comes to our online website, it is extremely simple. Obviously, there's a section where you purchase the TextPad, but there also includes a page of all of our social media links, a page about pricing options, an informative page explaining the product, and then a short page that describes our company's goals and what we want students to accomplish with our devices. Now, the reason we chose to sell through the websites is because it is extremely easy for the student, for the customer. You add the tablet to the cart and hit send, and within seconds your order is complete. The cons that we face with the online store is shipping prices and shipping times. We know college students are tight on money, so we do not charge for shipping. Because our product is so inexpensive to make, we have the ability to spend a couple extra dollars on shipping. And because one of our goals is to make it as quick as possible and easy, and we spoke earlier about how sometimes paper textbooks take a while to come and it takes a long time to wait for them. So we want to make the shipping process as quick as possible. So that is why we decided to go with FedEx. FedEx was recorded in 2022 as the fastest delivery service in the United States of America. So there's no better option for us when it comes to shipping. So we chose to go with FedEx to keep in that quick, simple, and fast mentality within our product. And then, of course, the bookstores are a perfect place for us to sell our products because students coming in to buy textbooks will see our tablet with that low price attached to it and automatically be drawn to at least check out what it is. Really, the only con that comes with putting it in the bookstore is that when students are coming into a bookstore, sometimes they have already ordered the textbook and paid for it. They're just coming to pick it up. So obviously, they wouldn't pick up the TextPad. Students, like I said a million times in this presentation, in college are tight on money. So spending money, extra money, when you already have the textbook on a TextPad wouldn't really make sense. So that's really the only con when it comes to selling in the bookstore. And then really just all the biggest variables in the environment that will affect us and that we have to kind of be prepared for. I really spoke about mostly throughout the presentation with regards to COVID and online learning. But another one I did mention was the computer parts. We do use recycled old iPad parts. But even those are slowly starting to rise in price. So something that we are prepared to do, unfortunately for our customers, is raise that price. But we would not do that until at least 1 to 2 years after our product really takes foot and gets a big notice, because we don't want to automatically just start charging more and more and more and drive those customers away, because our number one goal is being cheap, easy, inexpensive, and just simple to use. So we don't want to keep raising that price, but after a year or two, if these iPad parts are raising a little bit because of just the technological world that we live in today, we will be prepared for that. And that brings us to the end of the presentation. In summary, the TextPad is a small, slim tablet that is super easy to be transported back and forth from school to home. There is absolutely no distractions on it. It has nothing but textbooks, and it organizes a student extremely well. It tells them their upcoming dates, it tells them what they need to do for the upcoming week, and it does a lot of the organization for the student without the student actually having to do itself. So our number one goal is being as simple, easy, and cheap as possible. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.